Hi guys, welcome to Getweaved tutorials. So today I'm going to be showing you how I do a fitting of this wig, which I got from myfirstwig.com. 130 density middle part wig with a lace frontal, because a lot of you don't like fitting your wigs with boat hold. So I'm going to be showing you how to fit your wig with got to be glued and the got to be glued spray. There's also an alternative to these products, the ORS olive oil fix it spray, and it comes together with the fix it grip gel. So the first thing to do when you're fitting your wig, obviously if you have hair, you need to put your hair in cornrows or make sure that it's flat. If you can get away with tying your hair back flat and then putting the wig on top, that's also fine. I don't normally like wearing a wig cap, reason being it gets rid of my edges, so it makes my edges go really thin because wig caps have a really tight band around them. The only time I wear a wig cap is when I do the bald cap method, and this is when I put the wig cap on and then I cut off that tight band and then I just glue the rest of the wig cap to my head and then put the wig on top. I will do another video with the bald cap method in future, but for now I'm just going to be fitting the wig onto my bare head. You need to clean the surface with rubbing alcohol. So the reason I use a sock to clean off my hairline with rubbing alcohol is because when I use cotton, the little bits of cotton tend to get stuck in my head, and then when I put the glue on, it's mixed with little blobs of cotton. And this is also the same when you're removing your wig. I like to use a sock, and I always like to decide which parting I'm going to have before cutting the lace. So in this case I'm going to have a middle part, but if I wanted to change the parting to maybe a side part, what I would do is spray it with water. So I like to do that now before fitting it on. So if you start spraying it with water after you've glued it on and trying to change your parting, then all that's going to happen is the glue will end up coming out and all your hard work would have been pointless. So what you want to do is make sure you know what parting you're going to have it before you fit it or before you cut the lace. So if you are having a side part, spray it with water, make sure the hair is flat when it's wet, and then you just either put a silk scarf on. Instead of straightening it in place, because this can ruin the hair, spray it with water because that will do the job for you. Anyway, I'm not going to have it in this part, I'm going to have it in the middle, just because it comes in the middle. I'm going to try and cut this lace without using a mannequin head, but it's always best to do it on a mannequin head. Those of you that don't have a mannequin head can see how it's done. So you just make sure the wig is fitting you correctly, make sure the lace has covered your whole hairline. So it's slightly, well, I have a really big forehead, so let me not lie, it's not slightly in front of my hairline. My hairline probably starts about here, but you know, I'm gonna wear a wig, so I'm gonna get a new hairline. The most important bits to make sure that the wig is fitting you properly is if it's fitting around your ears properly. That's a good indicator that the wig fits you properly. So as you can see, this is perfectly around my ears. It's not overlapping a lot, so it's not coming all the way down, and it's not going maybe around my ears like that. It's a lot of times you can buy a wig and it's too big or it's too small and you don't get those little flaps going around your ears. They might just go there, and what happens when you do a corner is that cornrow on the side will be sticking out. So always make sure you buy the wig that is the right size for you if you're not getting it custom made or handmade. If you are getting it handmade, make sure you send the right measurements because this is really important. I really like this colour. I don't normally get brown hair, but it's looking cute, honey. Oh, to cut the lace, I'm using little scissors. What I'm doing is just holding it in my hands and just cutting as close to the hairline in a zigzag motion without cutting into the baby hairs. So I'm just going to keep cutting. I'm cutting, 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 I'm cutting. Take your time. There's no point rushing. If you rush it, it could go wrong. It's always best to take your time and do it properly, and you find that you get the best results. So one mistake I made in this video is that I didn't make sure the lace matched my skin, and you can see that the lace is a bit lighter than my skin when I'm cutting it or when the wig was on my head. So make sure you tint the wig to your colour. If you have edges, unlike me, who literally does not have any edges, always gel your edges down before fitting the wig. flip it back like this. As you can see, I have no edges because you can't even see my hairline right now, but it's okay. I'm still cute. They got to be glued, and you just apply an even layer. I'll apply it underneath the area of where the lace will sit, and I'm just going to dry it for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to go in with the spray. I would say blow dry this for 2 minutes because it's still shiny right now, so I'm going to wait for this bit to not be shiny. And the way to test it is, if it's not tacky, if you stick a comb to it and it's not tacky, firmly roll the lace back in the place that it was naturally in. You can do it in stages as well. It's not good to use your fingers, so don't follow my instructions there. So what I do is focus on the middle first. As you can see, it's flapping. If it's not laying around your ear, this is what happens. It just tends to lift on the sides, and it's not cute. You're just going to make sure it goes around your ear rather than sitting on your ear. Just a tiny, it was just a little bit over, but that will make a difference. So now if I put the lace down, it's actually in front of my ears, and it's not sitting on top of my ears on this bit, which means when I put the glue here, it will sit down and it will lay well. Half of it is looking crazy, but trust in the process. Trust in the process. The big bits that haven't stuck are going to lift. So what you need to do is pull this right. This works for me. I put a bit of the glue on the back of my hand like that. I spray that onto there, and then I mix it. This is just to make it easier because I don't want to be putting the glue onto the little bit that's left and spraying it, because I feel like the spray will just go everywhere. So I always think it's better to do it on the back of my hand until it is, you see that consistency? It's like gloopy. It's like okra. And then you take a little bit of that and you just apply it under the bit that hasn't stuck carefully. That's why I'm using a rat tail comb. And just set that in place. But the silk scarf is really important to mold it in. I'm going to go in again with the sock and just clean it off.
Once you've made sure that lace is pressed down into the glue and it's all dried together, you can go ahead and do your baby hairs.
It always helps to do this with the hair wet, so that's why you have to make sure that the got to be glued dries perfectly the first time, because if it's not dry, as soon as you spray a bit of water on it, or as soon as you put a bit of Eco Styler on it to do your baby hairs, it will just lift the lace. The rest of the hair back so it doesn't get in the way. And I cut them. It's up to you really what your preference is, if you want them really long or short, but I'm going to do them the way I like them. So I always cut diagonal, and I'm not really pressing down with the scissors. I'm kind of just running the scissors through the hair without actually blunt cutting it.
I like to put the gel on the back of my hand because then I don't use too much.
You're just going to take the hair out and then kind of swoop. I feel like because I don't have a lot of edges naturally, I like my baby hairs to shine. But not a lot of people like too many baby hairs. And the thing with Eco Styler that's good is once you flatten it, you can always comb it out to make it look a bit more natural. So I'm probably just going to do 3 swoops. Swoop. 1, 2 swoops. I'm going to do my 3rd swoop. So the bit around your ears, I would say, is the most tricky bit. Bring a bit of the hair downwards like this. You want to cut it as short as you want it, as long as you want it. Might look crazy right now because it's just a swoop and it's a swoop. But once I put the silk scarf down, I'm going to comb them out and then they'll look light and fluffy. I do the same to the other side. Get your toothbrush, dip it in the Eco Styler gel, and just find the baby hair that you've cut, bring it forward, take it back into the lace, bring it forward, take it back into the lace. You're going to take your silk scarf again and tie that just around the edges, because what you want to do while this is setting is style the hair.
So I'm just going in with my blow dryer and my brush, and then what I'm using is my hot comb to just flatten the hair. I don't want to use a straightener because I don't want to thin it out too much, and this is how it looks once it's set.
Trust the process.
Once you've glued your baby hairs down with Echo Styler and you dry them, you comb them out and then they'll just look a little bit more natural. And that is it really, we are done. I'm just going to add a few clips of what it looked like once my makeup was done and once I'd combed all the baby hairs out and added a little bit of foundation because I wasn't happy with how I didn't tint the lace properly. The trick I want to show you before we end the video is how to change your parting. So the wig came as a middle and I'm just going to change it to a side part. First step is to brush in the new direction that you want the hair to go in, and instead of straightening it, I'm going to wet it with heat protector and continue brushing it so the hair can lay, because obviously now it's wet, it's going to lay flat on the side that I want it to be on. And what I'm going to do is just go in with my rat tail comb to get the parting precisely how I want it and in the exact shape that I want it. And what I'll do, I haven't done this in video, but what I'll do after this is blow dry it, and then once it's dry, straighten it, and then once it's straight, I just tie it down with a silk scarf, and that's how you change your parting.
So here is the final look. Minus the lace being a little bit too light for my skin, everything else was perfect. So definitely check out myfirstwig.com if you're a beginner or you've never had a frontal wig before. Their wigs are amazing, they're beginner friendly. They come pre-bleached, they come pre-plucked. They also come with an elastic band, so you can choose that option as well. And there's a different option as well for you to pick the size. You can either have a size 1 or a size 2 depending on your circumference. So it's really easy to just order your wig, get it out of the box, make sure you tint it or add foundation on the base of the lace, and then just put it on your head once you cut the lace. So I'll put all the details of that in the description below. Please like, please comment, and please subscribe, guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!